What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. UK's boxing columnist Michael Benson posted yesterday on his website Ring Magazine's top 5 pound-for-pound rankings in boxing. They're the current rankings. Now, I don't know how recently they updated the rankings, but he posted on his website yesterday, man, and I was going to do a video on it, man, but I got tied up. I had to do some other things, but let's talk about it, man. Let's cuss and discuss the top 5 rankings according to Ring Magazine. Yeah, let's see what happens. But as far as number 1, they got Canelo Alvarez as number 1 on the pound-for-pound list. I don't have a big problem with that. You know, he's definitely in the top 5. I wouldn't have him number 1, but I can definitely hear an argument for him being number 1. I would have him number 2 on my pound-for-pound list. But they got him number 1 on the pound-for-pound list. You know, he's a unified champion at 168 pounds. He's 1 belt away from being undisputed. He's got a pretty good run going on right now. Now, he lost to Floyd Mayweather in, 2013 or somewhere in there, if I'm not mistaken. That was around 8 years ago. He was very green when he took that fight, but he had been in there with some good opponents leading up to that. He fought, who he fought? He fought Sugar Shane Mosley. He fought Ricky Haddon's brother, Matthew Haddon, I believe. But he had fought some okay fighters, but he wasn't ready for Floyd. His first 20 fights, he fought a bunch of guys probably not even in boxing right now. No, I can't even call them guys he fought in the first 20 fights. I can't even call them journeyman fighters. I can't even call them that because that would be an insult to journeyman. So I'm not going to even say that. But he went in there and he lost, but he improved from that fight really with the stamina. That's what he really improved on. A lot of people say he improved. A lot of people say he ain't improved. He just improved on his opponent selection. But I think he has improved because he did a better job of cutting the ring off. And he does a good job of disguising that left hook. You don't know if it's coming up top or it's going to the body. That's how he broke Billy Joe Saunders' orbital bone. He got Billy Joe to be ducking, thinking it was going to be a headshot, and he came right up under him and caught him in that eye. And that pretty much sealed the deal for Canelo Alvarez. But he definitely a top 5. He's beat he's beat Austin Trout in a fight. So that was a unification fight, I believe, at 154 pounds. As Austin Trout was fresh off of beating Miguel Cotto. He was a southpaw, so that was a good fight. That was a good fight, a good win for Canelo Alvarez. He got some good wins. Ezra Lara, you know, even though I didn't think he won that fight, he got the dub. So we got to go by what's in the record books. And that's definitely a dub. So that goes on his record. That goes in the plus column for him. So he's got some good wins on the resume. Beat Miguel Cotto. I had that fight a draw. But just like I said in the Triple G second fight, even though I had it a draw, I had no problem with Canelo winning the fight, but some of them scorecards was too wide for my taste. But I don't have no problem with him getting the win because he was landing the more damaging shots. That's the problem with Cotto had, the same problem with Triple G had. And Triple G really had a problem with it because he was out of character. Triple G was known as a come-forward fighter, aggressive fighter, a power puncher, but he got outpowered in that second fight. Canelo beat him at his own game. He had Triple G. I don't know if he had Triple G doing this or Triple G chose to do this, but Triple G was fighting that fight off the back foot. And he showed that he could box, you know, to the surprise of many. He was able to jab Canelo and score some points. He won a lot of rounds, in my opinion. I had him winning 6 rounds, but he was out of character, so that probably threw the judges off. They was like, man, this dude in here boxing and fighting off the back foot, jabbing and throwing combinations, ain't really loading up on his punches, ain't sitting down on his punches. He out here trying to be, you know, he trying to be like a Muhammad Ali or something out there. We thought he was more like a Joe Frazier type. He out here trying to be like Muhammad Ali style of fighter, the way he was fighting in that fight. He ain't Muhammad Ali, don't get me wrong, I ain't comparing him to him. I'm just saying that style that he was doing. He was fighting off the back foot and all that type of stuff. And that's why he lost that fight more than anything, you know. He got outpowered. Something that was supposed to be an advantage for him wasn't even no advantage in that second fight. As Canelo Alvarez landed the more powerful shots. That's how he's able to get the decision win. So he's got some good wins on his resume. I wouldn't have him number 1, but I can damn sure hear an argument for him being number 1. So you got him at number 1. Number 2, they got, now this is a controversial pick right here in my opinion. But number 2, they got Naya Inu at number 2. I'm like Stevie Wonder. I can't see it. Don't know why he number 2. He shouldn't be in the top 5, to be frank. He may be top 10. I can hear an argument for him being in the top 10, but he ain't got no business at number 2. You got him over people like Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. You must be out your rabbit ass mind, Ring Magazine. He ain't got no business being in the top 5, period, let alone ahead of Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. and Jamal Charlo, for that matter. He ain't got no business, but none of them. And let me throw another one in there, Teofimo Lopez. He shouldn't even be ahead of him. Man, Inu beat a past his best days Nonito Donaire in a fight that was supposed to be a showcase fight for Naya. You know, he got all this publicity. Oh man, Naya, man, that boy cold with them hands, man. He be throwing 100 punches around and he don't hardly get touched. This dude here is on another level, man. Like Nassim Richardson, the great trainer who passed away earlier this year. R.I.P. to the great Nassim Richardson. He said he can get in the boat and don't get wet. That type of stuff. He's just that cold with it. You know what I'm saying? But when you watch the fight, yeah, he won the fight. But Nonito Donaire had his moments in that fight. Nonito Donaire was landing some shots. Nonito Donaire had won some rounds in that fight. He probably lost that fight maybe 9-3 or something there. But that fight was supposed to be a showcase fight for Inu. Inu was supposed to dissect and destroy Nonito Donaire. And then that wasn't the case. He got caught with some shots. A lot of people were like, oh man, he's fighting in front of his home country, and he was a lot of pressure on him. He was trying to please the crowd, and he made a lot of mistakes he usually don't make. That's what I heard happen. Now, maybe it was the fact that he ain't as good as what y'all say he is. He a good fighter, but he ain't no top 5 fighter. Y'all doing the same thing y'all did with Vasily Lomachenko, had him up there at number 1. And think about it, at least Vasily should have been in the top 5. He shouldn't have been number 1 over no Crawford or none of probably even Canelo. But he definitely should have been in the top 5. Inu, he ain't got no business in the top 5, period. Top 10, yeah, I can hear argument over that, for that. Not in no top 10, not in no top 5, my bad, not in no top 5. He ain't got no business in no top 5, man. You know, they did the same thing with Lomachenko, but at least Lomachenko had some good wins. He had them boys out there waving the white flag when he was fighting them. Nicholas Waters, he made him wave the white flag. Waters was rusty though. He hadn't fought in about a year and a half, man. That's top rank, put him on the shelf, man. Cause the money they offered him to originally fight Lomachenko, he was like, hell no. So they put him on the shelf. And then when his money got funny, he had to go and get in there with Lomachenko, and he ended up taking less than what they originally offered him to fight Lomachenko in the first time they were supposed to fight. So he got messed over all the way around. But he made him wave the white flag, and he beat Regendahl. But when you watch them two in the ring fighting, you just see the size difference in Lomachenko and Regendahl. Lomachenko was way bigger than Lomachenko. It was like they were at least 2 weight classes apart, man. Regendahl was still but top 5 pound for pound at the time, though. So when you top 5 pound for pound like Regendahl was, you know, you're supposed to be like, skills pay the bills. It don't matter about me being small. I'm gonna go up here and take care of business. And he was talking cash shit before that Vasily Lomachenko fight. He told me he finna whoop his ass from pillar to post. That's basically what Regendahl was saying before that fight. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. You lost, man. You waved the white flag too. That's what made you look real bad. So at least he had some wins. He had some wins over some top people to kind of earn that top 5. He probably shouldn't have been number 1, but he definitely should have been in the top 5. That being Vasily Lomachenko. But Inu shouldn't even be in the top 5. Like I said, I can hear an argument for being in the top 10. But they got him at number 2. Number 3, they got Terrence Bud Crawford, who's been undisputed at 140 pounds. Got some good wins on his resume. Beat Yokos Gamboa when Yokos Gamboa was close to the top of his game. He beat Ricky Burns over there in the UK. Ricky Burns was probably a top 5 lightweight at the time, at least top 10 welterweight at the time. Beat him. Now, a lot of people gonna say he ain't beat nobody at junior welterweight, but he only could beat the people that they put in front of him. He was able to beat everybody that they put in front of him at 140 pounds, all of the champions, and become undisputed. And he beat a fighter that fighters don't want to talk about this fight too much when they talk about Terrence Bud Crawford, but he beat Felix Diaz. Felix Diaz was a guy that a lot of people thought beat Lamont Peterson. He's a good fighter. He had came in that fight with 1 loss. He had maybe 1 or 2 losses, but even every loss that he did have on his record, it was controversial. A lot of people say, man, he won that fight. He just got messed over by the judges because he ain't had a name. He's basically fighting the A-side fighter in that particular fight. He didn't get the decision. So he beat him, man. I'm talking about he washed him, beat him every round. He put on a hell of a performance. That might have been the best performance of his career, that fight with Felix Diaz. I believe that fight was up in Madison Square Garden in New York, if I'm not mistaken. He put on a hell of a performance. Maybe it might have been in his hometown of Nebraska, maybe. But he put on a hell of a performance, man, against Felix Diaz. So he definitely should be in the top 5 of the pound for pound, no doubt. I would have him at number 1, but they got a number 3, so I don't have too much of a problem with that. I can hear an argument about him being number 2, but not number 3. Number 2 at worst. Only person like you could make an argument that should be ahead of him is Canelo Alvarez, but he definitely should be higher than number 3. But at least they got him in the top 5. That's better than what I can say about them having Alexander Usyk, who's number 4. They got him number 4. And Alexander Usyk's biggest accomplishment is becoming undisputed at cruiserweight division. He was able to win a Super 6. He won that championship, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. In the Middle East, I think they had the final in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia. In maybe around about the same area where Anthony Joshua fought Andy Ruiz. I don't know if it was the same city, but in that same area, he was able to win and become undisputed at a cruiserweight division. Now since then, he ain't done too much. Now, he fought Tony Bellew after that, and Tony Bellew was winning that fight before Tony Bellew, through fatigue and everything, got caught with a shot, and he ended up knocking Tony Bellew damn near out the ring. So that was a good win for him, beating Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was fresh off of beating David Haye twice, but Tony Bellew moved back down to cruiserweight, so we don't know what the weight loss did to him as far as stamina. In the second half of that fight, I think they all played a part, and Usyk took advantage of all that and stopped Tony Bellew. But he shouldn't be in the top 5 either based on his last 2 performances. He couldn't knock out a washed-up Chaz Witherspoon, who never was that good to begin with. Couldn't beat him, struggled in that fight, got the win, and then he fought Derek Chisora. He ran around the ring, got on his bicycle, and when I thought he was Lance Armstrong in that fight, as he pretty much got on his bicycle and used every inch of that ring. That had to be one of the biggest rings out there. That probably was that 24-foot ring that Billy Joe Saunders was asking for in the Canelo Alvarez fight. That ring was big. He was able to run around, and Derek Chisora did not do a good job of cutting the ring off, and Derek Chisora was following around, and he was touching him with them little pitter-pat punches, and he was able to win a points decision over Derek Chisora. But he's looking like a guy, in my opinion, that's too small for that weight. Now, he goes in there and fight like that against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is probably going to do a better job of cutting that ring off. Joe Joyce is going to throw a lot of punches, and Joe Joyce is going to put a lot of pressure on him. And it's going to go. And then that fight probably going to go down to the beauties in the eye of the beholder. If you like a guy that's running around there pitter-patting and scoring that way, or do you like the guy that's coming forward, throwing hard shots and pressing action? That's what it might boil down to in the fight with Usyk and Joyce, man. But he has not impressed the heavyweight division yet. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But he shouldn't be number 4. I definitely can hear argument for him for being in the top 10, but definitely shouldn't be in the top 5. Number 5, they got the truth and nothing but the truth, Errol Spence Jr. at number 5, which I think is a little low. I have him a little bit higher. I'm gonna give you my top 5 in a minute, but he definitely should be in the top 5. He's unified champion at 147 pounds. Got big wins over Danny Swift Garcia and Sean Showtime Porter. Porter's guys are one of the best resumes in the welterweight division, in boxing period, actually. And he beat him in a very fan-friendly fight. Dropped him in the 11th round en route to a 12-round split decision win over Porter. And he just pretty much dominated Danny Garcia like Danny Garcia had never got dominated in his whole career. Beat him decisively in his last fight. Defeated Lamont Peterson. Beat him convincingly. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. Made him quit. Made him wave the white flag. So he's got some good wins over Chris Algieri, who's been in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Stopped him in dramatic fashion. I think with a body shot. Had him up on the ropes. And just, he was a body shot or uppercut. I can't remember. But he knocked him out in devastating fashion. And he's beating some top guys. So he definitely is deserving of a top 5 pound for pound ranking. Now this will be my top 5. I know you heard the Ring Magazine. I just broke their top 5 pound for pound rankings, and I just punched holes and just dissected and destroyed their top 5, especially the number 2 and number 4 fighters that they have in Ngannou and Usyk. But this is my top 5. I have Canelo number 1. Nah, my bad. Scratch that. I got Terrence Bud Crawford number 1. I got Canelo Alvarez number 2. I got The Truth and Nothing But the Truth, Errol Spence Jr. at number 3. I got the unified 154-pound middleweight, junior middleweight champion. The unified 154-pound junior middleweight champion, Jermell Charlo at number 4. And I got the WBC 160-pound middleweight champion, his big brother, but really his twin brother, Jamal Charlo at number 5. And I got right outside the top 5, who I can hear argument for being in the top 5 also, I got the unified lightweight champion, the guy that defeated Vasyl Lomachenko in impressive fashion, dominated him, made him respect his power, made him keep his hands at home, not throw punches until the second half of that fight. A guy that put on a spectacular performance, and a guy that every time he comes into the ring and fights, he looks pretty much in spectacular. He takes care of business in spectacular fashion outside of the Nakatani fight. That's the only fight you can say, well, man, he really didn't dominate. He had problems in that fight. But outside of that, he's been spectacular. So I put him at number 6, and I can hear argument about him being in the top 5. But outside of that, that's my top 5. Crawford, Canelo, Spence Jr., Jermell Charlo, Jamal Charlo, and then right outside of the top 5, on their heels, number 6 is Teofimo Lopez. Let me know your thoughts about the Ring Magazine top 5 pound for pound rankings, and let me know about JB Sports top 5 rankings. You agree with my rankings, or do you agree with the Ring Magazine rankings? Or do you got your own top 5? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.